It's the year's spookiest Terraria news update, as it's the October state of the game, timed eerily close to Halloween this year. Let's begin with what Relogic's Loki had to say to open this month's news feature. Greetings, Terrarians. One of our favorite holidays approaches, Halloween. We don't know about you, but between the decorations, costumes, parties, and more, it is just such a fun time of year. We hope that each of you gets a bit of time to indulge your spookier side and to maybe enjoy a handful of tricks or treats. Speaking of, we have a full candy pail of both to hand out for this month's State of the Game. So step right up, ring the doorbell, and let's see what horrific surprises await Terrarians everywhere. Well, that promises a lot, doesn't it? As always, we begin this month's updates with news for the PC edition of Terraria. And you thought that Journey's End was the last update. Well, just check this out. It's the Eye of Cthulhu in Don't Starve Together. That's right. A bit of Terraria in Don't Starve. Looks good too, I like the animations. But wait, there's more. Shifting over from Don't Starve to Terraria itself, we've got none other than Deerclops, except in Terraria form. Obviously a creature from Don't Starve that's been transferred as part of a crossover event. Here's what Loki had to say about this unexpected crossover content that's apparently heading to Terraria soon. In case you missed the big reveal last week, we are doing the second major crossover update in the history of Terraria. This time with the long-running hit indie survival game Don't Starve Together. Our good friends at Cly Entertainment have been hard at work in parallel with the team at Relogic in order to make both sides of this crossover worthy of the fan bases and authentic to the gameplay of each of these amazing titles. As you can tell from the above gifs, we are swapping terrifying foes. What else might be making the journey to Don't Starve Together and vice versa? Well, you'll have to wait just a bit longer to find out. Stay vigilant, Terrarians, for life in The Constant can be quite harsh indeed. So it should be more than just Deerclops from the sound of things. That's certainly welcome news. The more the merrier. In other PC news, the Steam Halloween sale, which happens every year, is going on, as you might imagine, right now, in the days leading up to Halloween. So if you're one of the 5 or so people who hasn't bought some form of Terraria yet, and you fancy getting the PC edition, well, it's cheap. And they gave the usual indications that the Steam Workshop content is still growing, and that the team behind the Team Mod Loader program is still working to port it over to support Journey's End. But they also had a brief statement regarding Relogic's future development plans, and that was titled, "What Else Is Going On?" And in regards to that, they said, "We have a few game jams that are a bit on hold while we wrap up the collaboration with Don't Starve Together and the Steam Deck optimizations. The team is quite excited to delve back into these experiments soon." Okay, so they're taking another break, but that's fine if it means more content, right? And that's it for PC this month. So on now to news about the Xbox and PlayStation editions. Greetings, Terrarians. Last time we checked in, we were just about to release Journey's End for Xbox and PlayStation. What a month it has been since then. Let's take a moment to check in on progress made on your feedback and bug reports, as well as a glimpse into what lies ahead. And I'm just going to include a little synopsis here of the hotfixes they've rolled out over the past month, beginning of course with hotfix number 1 from the 1st of October, followed by the second big hotfix from the 7th of October, and then finally the third major hotfix from the 19th of October. So there have been 3 pretty significant bug fix patches that have come out since that initial launch of Journey's End on Xbox and PlayStation. And by the way, if you want more details for all of these 3 patches, they are available. Just follow the link provided in the video description below if you want to find out what exactly was fixed in each of these 3 major hotfixes. But they conclude with the following. The team is feeling pretty good about the state of things after the patch from last week, but we know a handful of bugs and issues are still wandering out there in the wild. We have most of these documented. Again, the best way to make sure your issue is seen is to file a bug report in the TCF bug section. But we're not totally done with all the consoles, because the Switch, being a console, in my mind anyway, got some love in this month's news update with its own section. And for that they write, in parallel, the team at DR Studios is hard at work on the nuances required to get Terraria Journey's End out on Nintendo Switch. The good news behind the scenes is that all of the fixes we just implemented for Xbox and PlayStation will be there on day one for Switch players. Definitely a win-win there for everyone. Of course, we are sure you want to take a glimpse at what might be going on, right? Well, here's a few snaps from recent testing. The Moonlord dying, his bestiary entry, and a bit of touch mining. Before anyone asks, I like to play with as much space as possible, so I zoomed my user interface pretty small, but this is all adjustable. And as we look at these images, all in all, if you play this game on the Switch, this has to be a good thing to look at, because they provide proof of life of Journey's End features in the Switch edition of Terraria, so it's good that it's functioning. And of course, that ever-important ability for us to customize the game's user interface is not going to be lacking on the Switch, apparently. And then just for good measure, they're also, for the Switch undocked mode, apparently taking full advantage of that touch screen on the Switch, so that you can do things like touch mining. So what's not to like there? Other than the weight, of course. For the Switch, they conclude with, in terms of timing, we are starting to hone in on what things will look like. We are confident in that the game will be submitted to Nintendo this year. When or not we see a launch to players will really come down to the results of that submission process, amidst the complications of the impending holidays. We want to be sure to get it out as quickly as possible to players, but also in a timeline that allows us to be able to quickly respond to any launch issues, as we did with Xbox and PlayStation. We expect to be able to share more details on this very soon, but as always, we want to be 100% certain of things before giving dates. Stay tuned. Okay, so it'll be out before the end of the year, knock on wood. And as always, they want to make sure the process is smooth and that they're around and not on Christmas vacation, for instance, when big fixes need to be made. So they're going to have to watch that calendar, I suppose. But with any luck, before 2022 arrives, Switch players will be playing Journey's End. And now, just to wrap up, mobile news. Hello everyone. Mobile Terrarians, we are growing ever closer to return to development, this time alongside our console friends. The team is eagerly anticipating jumping headlong into bringing content parity to all platforms in the new year. We just need to get Switch out and stable first. Not much longer now. We have also been made aware of some issues impacting some players in regards to Android 11. The team will be looking into this shortly, and we will get any needed fixes out just as soon as possible. So mobile is not totally neglected, but I think they aren't really hiding the fact that they're focused on the Switch edition before moving back to mobile development. So not much there for the month in terms of mobile news, but I suppose we've grown accustomed to that while these various consoles are brought up to speed with the PC and mobile editions. Now for the rest of the October State of the Game, the update featured some community news, like some new Terraria merchandise that's been hitting their store over the past few weeks. But it also included some Halloween-themed contests as well, things like pumpkin carving contests and Halloween costume contests. So if you'd like to learn more about that, I don't think this video is the best medium for that, so I'll just include that link I mentioned earlier. Just click on that link if you want, follow the update post, and toward the bottom you'll see more details on what you can win and just the ins and outs of those competitions if you're interested. Anyway, that's it for now, so thanks for watching everyone, stay spooky, and I'll see you next time, most likely in November. So take care all, thank you.